bikers, thanks for tuning in to another Bikerman video. Today I'm out in the area surrounding Lavon Dam. I had actually in a previous video gone out there and done a little ride and found a couple of fishing trails that I wanted to explore more. So this is basically the follow-up to that. You'll see me getting a little frustrated with the bushwhacking, with the trash, but nonetheless it was a fun day of exploring. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you out there. So I don't know how the weather's been where you guys are, but we've had a lot of rain, as we would expect this time of year, and a lot of the normal mountain biking trails have been closed, which is frustrating. But a lot of the jeeping trails, the jeeping roads, the fishing, hiking paths, like what I'm about to explore here, are open, and they're just created by the general public, so nobody's going to get mad if you get out there and kind of explore and get your bike back into these areas, especially like the jeeping trails. They're totally destroyed and trash anyway, but this time of year, because the mountain biking stuff is closed, these are some of my only opportunities to get into the woods and do some exploring. So I was feeling lucky on this particular day and said, you know what, I'm going to go and just take a look and see what's actually out here. It's kind of hard to tell in this video, but this is there's a good amount of mud getting clumped up on my bike throughout this ride, but it was kind of an in-between day where it had been a couple of days between the rain, but the normal trails still weren't open. But you can see here, there's not really a defined path. It's I always kind of wondered, at the established mountain biking trails, who was the first person, what did the first person do to get these established? Did they just ride the same areas over and over? Did they go in with equipment? Were they existing, were there some existing hiking trails or existing, I don't know, game trails or whatever? But this is kind of got to be what those first rides must have been like on some of these on some of the mountain biking trails that you see out there. It's a little defined, but there's a whole bunch of just junk everywhere. There's so many thorns, so much trash. Yeah, look at these. There's just woods everywhere. But even though it was kind of, I don't know, some of these areas like this is awesome. There's a little creek over there. You can tell that it's compacted down nicely. But the frustrating thing for me is just the total just lack of respect that whoever's been using this stuff really has for the wild nature area. It's a public space that is open and could be so awesome for so many different things, but you just look at this. I mean, this isn't just a couple of people left some trash behind. This is everybody's coming down to these areas to go fishing, and it's just well, there's no trash cans. I know I brought this with me, but I'm just gonna dump it here. Look at this. This is months and months and years of people just being F it. Look at that. It's freaking disgusting. Not to mention if you're trying to walk through there, or you're like me, you're riding a bike. That's Lavon Dam, by the way. Could be just a beautiful picturesque spot, and then boom, you turn back around. It's oh yeah, awesome, Bud Light. Anyway, the point that I was making was that this could be a multi-use trail. You could have amazing hiking in here and really fun mountain biking, but you'd have to dedicate so much time just to overcoming the amount of trash. Making the trails actually probably wouldn't be too hard this time of year when there's not that much greenery. you know, you could just ride this probably. Like if you rode this a couple times a week, you could probably establish some decent routes in here. But then it's like you come up on an area you can't really see below the leaves. It's like there's, you know, aluminum cans and fishing hooks and who knows what else. But it's just so frustrating because you want to come back and it's like, oh, let's dedicate some time to this. If I knew some dudes, it would be fun. And this is the East Fork of the Trinity River. Look at this. It's hard to tell right here, but it's probably like, I don't know, like a 5 or 6 foot drop off the side. It was a cold day too, probably in the like high 30s, maybe low 40s. It wouldn't have been fun to take a drink. I don't know if any of you guys like have other hobbies other than biking, or I guess watching YouTube bike videos. But now like I'm a fisherman also. I enjoy fishing, and I actually have, you know, other video where I just like took a ride and went fishing. It was really fun. But it's like times like this where I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I'm so embarrassed to be a fisherman, you know? I mean, have you ever been to like mountain biking trails or like, you know, a place where like bikers have been, they just leave freaking trash everywhere like this? It's crazy. I mean, especially for like a hobby that relies so heavily on nature. It's like, where do you think that trash goes when it gets windy? It goes right into the river where you're fishing, where presumably you're eating the fish, possibly, you know? I mean, like a lot of people do, right? Presumably you're casting your line out there and it's getting snagged on this stuff. Like, not to mention just the eyesore of it all, you know? Think this stuff through. I just don't. People are just, you know, as a parent, sometimes it's hard to stay optimistic to my kids when I see stuff like this. You know, I always try to like reflect positively on like people and like to my kids, like, yeah, people are good people. But damn, dude, there's a lot of people who just aren't. Crazy. Anyway, as you can see, this ride had a little bit of effect on me, giving me a little salty. It's not just the trash; it was a really hard ride, just with all the sticks and these wooded areas have a lot of thorns. I had to pump my tires up a few times. But just disregard the trash for a minute. How sweet of a ride would this be? You know, and off to my right hand side here is like a wooded park. It's a closed park. It's not open, but it's not also, there's also not no trespassing anywhere. Like the place that I rode in on, there was no trespassing. It's like the fence was open, you know, it wasn't like cut or anything. So it could be such like just an awesome spot. And I'm sure further away from the river, I'm sure there's a lot less trash back in there. If I dedicated some time, I could make some cool trails. But yeah, it's like at both at the same time, like inspiring and exciting because of the like exploration aspect of it. But then it's just like, oh God, like people just taking a dump on this place. So you guys might notice that I got this new Garmin bike computer. The thing looks absolutely massive in this video. I had a smaller bike computer before, and just as far as like all the stats that it keeps and everything like that. I don't really care a whole lot about that. I mean, like I care about mileage. You know, there's just like a certain, I guess the guy in me like wants, likes that to achieve something. But the reason that I got this, it's a little bit bigger one. It's not the biggest one that they make, but it's a little bit bigger one. The reason I got it is because you can download like a North American map, and you don't have to. So you don't have to be like pulling your phone out constantly. Like if you get off, if you're just like, a lot of times I'm exploring neighborhoods, or like I've been like looking for like random like dead end streets and going down there and seeing what's down there. And sometimes I'll get lost, or road will be closed, or there's construction or whatever. It's really nice to have that map right on top of your bike. You're not having to like pull your phone out. So anyway, I'll put the information for what that bike computer is, but it's a great little device. It was pretty reasonable. Obviously, anything electronic is a little pricey, but I sold my old one and then I put that towards this. So yeah, so anyway, at the end of the day, it wasn't too bad, and it's super helpful. You can see on that right there, that vine, those things are just full of thorns. I had to actually, I bought these tubes that have like a sealant in them, so if you get a thorn, you can just like pop it out and it'll reseal itself, and then you can pump them back up. They don't get great reviews online, but I think maybe people don't really know how to use them properly, but they've been great for me. They've really saved me from having to replace a tube. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in to checking out these trashy fishermen destroying potentially awesome trails. I hope you guys are out there exploring this winter. I'm definitely trying to take the opportunity to find some new stuff, since my normal trails are closed. But if you watch the end, please like and subscribe. Let me know your comments down below, what you thought of these trashy fisherman trails, and I'll see you out there.